Welcome back everyone to Blender and Unreal Engine, becoming a dungeon prop artist, and this is where we left it off. Now let's have a look at these first, making sure I'm happy with the meshes. So first of all, I do want some little pieces of metal that are going to go in here, which makes it look as though these are actually being held on by something. So let's press Shift A, and what we're going to do is just bring in a simple cube. So S, bring in a cube, bring it up, pull it out, like so. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull it out a little bit further, and then I'm going to press Tab. And I'm going to bring it down to there, and then just bring it up just a little bit, and probably just going to pull it out like so. All right. Maybe the bottom wants to come down a little bit so that bit's not poking through, like so. And then press L just to grab it. I'm going to press Shift D, and I'm just going to bring it down to the other part. So something like that. I'm going to bring it up a little bit, and then just pull it into place. Maybe I can get away with bringing it a little bit further down, but you can see it just makes all the difference in how it actually looks. All right, that's looking really nice. Now let's grab one of these and we'll bring it over to this side. So I'm going to come in, L, Shift D, just to duplicate it, bring it over, P, selection, split it off, Control A, all transforms, right click, it's origins geometry. Now let's bring it over to this one. You can see way too big at the moment, so I'm just going to squish it down a little bit, like so, and then just pull it into place. I'm going to rotate it, so RY, rotate it round, pull it up, pull it in, and I can see here that this bit here, I need to pull out. So you can see, if I grab this, I need to pull this bit out. So I'm going to press 1, I'm going to press G, and then I can pull it out like so. All right, now let's do the bottom. So again, I'll grab it, Shift D, bring it down, and then press 1 number pad and just rotate it. So R, Y, rotate it round, put it into the place where you want it. I'm thinking maybe it's to be around there. Yeah, something like that. And just pull it out a little bit. And there we go. Yeah, that looks absolutely fine. Okay, so now we can actually join all of these together. So I can, because yeah, actually, I think the last thing I need to do is just bevel these a little bit actually. So we'll do that first. We'll bevel probably. I'm thinking these little metal parts don't really need beveling. Like these parts here, do these really need beveling? Or I'm just going to look. Yeah, probably do actually. So I'm going to grab them both at the same time, and I'll do them both at the same time. So Alt Shift click, just going down each of them, like so. I don't think I'll do the bottom, like so. And what I want to make sure is that the beveling are all at the same. So now if I press Control B, pull it out, just a tiny bevel like so. Yeah, they look tons better like that. All right, so now let's come to these and we'll do the same thing. So Alt Shift click, coming around. So, and then I'll come to this one and I'll press Control B and we'll just bevel them off like so. Now let's split these up. So I'm going to press L, T, selection, and then I'm just going to join all of this up by grabbing it all like so, pressing Control J, and then just making sure shade smooth, everything's shade smooth, and it's all joined together, and there we go. Now, is there any part of this I'm not happy with? Yeah, probably this part here. I need to smooth this off at least. So I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to press 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm first of all going to press G and just move it out a little bit. And then we'll do the same with this one. So G, and there you go. We've straightened those up. They look nice again. Now let's do the same thing with this. So we're going to press B, grab everything, press Control J, right click Shade Smooth, Auto Smooth on, and finally there we go. Now that's those done. Now all we need to do is bring in the materials. So basically they're going to be wood, they're going to be a dark metal on the handles. I think all the way around actually would be dark metal, so we'll give that a try. We've actually textured these, I think, apart from the jug. So let's start with the jug actually. So the jug would be made probably of silver. So let's come in and we'll make another material. So what I'll do is I'll bring back my materials like so. We'll grab this one. I'll press Shift D, and we'll also, yeah, I don't think we need another one yet, so we won't do that yet. So what we'll do is we'll minus it off, and then we'll go to our textures, and we'll have this one here. So we've got two, as you can see, Silver Basic, Silver Treasures. So let's use this one here. This is the one we're going to use. So I'll go back to it, click it, and then we'll just copy this. So Control C, and then New, and then Enter, like so. And now let's come to this one first, over to our shading panel. And again, we'll copy these, Control C. It's a shame that Blender doesn't have a setup with the ambient occlusion, but it doesn't. So Control T, and let's bring in the silver. So it's Silver Basic here. And again, we've got all of these. So we don't want the DirectX. We want the OpenGL. So, and there we go. All right, so that's the silver. And I'm just looking at what that actually looks like. Is it shiny enough? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. We can alter that anyway, and I'll show you how to do that now. First of all, though, let's plug in our ambient occlusion. So just same as what we've done on every other one. Like so. And now let's see how dark we actually want it. So we can also change this as well to change how dark it is. I think that will bring, we're not getting a lot of difference there. So I think what I'll do on this one is just bring it down a little bit, like so. Now, how do we change the metal? We want to keep this actual metallic map on there, because if we take that off, although we can alter the metallic, as you can see, it's not very good because it's not actually based on a map. This map has little bits of roughness, and it has a lot of variation in the actual map, and we don't really want to actually alter that. So I'm just going to plug this back in, and instead what I'm going to do is I'll come to my roughness, and that's the one that I'll change. But what I'll do is I'll press Shift A, and again, we'll look for an RGB curves, and we'll drop that in place. And now you'll see that if I pull this down all the way down here, you've got a lot of control, yet you've still got all these little bumps and things like that. So it looks as though there's a lot of actual grime on there. This is a really great way of actually altering your maps on the fly within Blender. So I'm just going to turn it up. Don't want it quite so shiny, but I do want it a little bit more shiny than what it was. So you can see that's looking about right now. All right, so I'm happy with that. Let's double tap the A, and let's come over and give these some materials. What I'm also, I think I'll see if I can actually unwrap this just straight away. So let's have a go. I'm going to press, because it is metal, and with metal you can get away with a lot more. So I'm just going to grab it. I'm going to press U, and Smart UV Project. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and I'm going to look for Silver Basic. And I'm going to press Tab, double tap the A. And there we go. Looks absolutely fantastic. All right, let's put on our, and there we go. Really, really nice. All right, so I'm just looking and just making sure that I'm happy with it. What I'm looking at is if it's got a line down here, sometimes that happens. So what I want to do, go to UV editing, just make sure it looks good. And I'm just looking at this line down here. So what I want to do is just click on one of them. Yeah, and you can see that they're not together. Sometimes that can happen. So let's just grab it all again. And let's see if we can Smart UV Project. Yeah, and I think that's actually, we might be able to get away with that. I'm just looking around the other side. Or we can mark a seam straight down the back. Probably going to have to do that. So I'm going to press L, H, hide this part. Also, when you hide it in your render view, it won't actually hide it. You have to go out of it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come now, and I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm also going to get rid of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark a seam, and I'm going to come with my face select. So I'm going to grab all of this, so L, and I'm going to grab all of the inside, as you can see there, all of the top, hide them out of the way. Should be left then with just this, and now we can mark a seam straight down the back. So if I press Alt Shift and click, right click, mark seam, and now you'll see when I undo this, so L, U, unwrap, now you'll see we've got no artifacts in there or anything like that, and it's unwrapped absolutely perfectly. If we put it now onto render view, you'll see that that actually looks much, much better. I think actually this line down here is just coming from this here. I think that's what it is. Here it is. But you can see it looks a lot better. All right, so that's quite funny that we did it like that. But anyway, never mind. Let's put it onto material mode, and then what we'll do then on the next one is we'll actually get these ale mugs with their textures and materials on. All right, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'll save it out, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.